so much for coming back. As you can see, we've done a little shopping in our garden this morning, as well as a little bit of shopping at the grocery store for very minimal ingredients. Today I want to show you how to make a spicy cold cucumber soup that is perfect for these 90-degree days that we've been having. So keep on watching to see how incredibly simple and delicious this recipe is. Surprise, surprise, the main ingredient in spicy cucumber cold soup is cucumber. So we have got 2 large cucumbers here that I have peeled and sliced in half lengthwise, and now I'm using a spoon to scoop out the seeds. The seeds, if you blended it up into this mixture, would just make everything quite watery, so we just want the meat of the cucumber here. The really nice thing about cucumbers is they're incredibly low in calories, and they are really refreshing because of their high water content, so they're a nice thing to eat in the heat. So I'm just going to continue to scoop these on out and then roughly chop them and put them into our blender. Alright guys, next we have some kale from our garden that we've washed really well. It's just like a large handful, so about a cup packed, full of antioxidants, lots of fiber, and surprisingly, kale has a good amount of protein in it as well. We've also got 2 crushed medium-sized cloves of garlic and the juice of a lemon, which is really refreshing, and it's also going to brighten up all the flavors we're adding into our soup. And then one of my favorite ingredients, and something that gives us this peppery little bit of a spice, are radish sprouts from our betta fish little aqua garden that we've got going on. Also got some large green onions from our garden as well. I'm reserving just a little bit for garnish here, and I'm just tearing them up and putting them in the blender to give our blender a little bit of help here. Then we're going to do a preliminary blend to kind of get this all broken down a little bit before we add the rest of the ingredients. You may have to smoosh it down halfway through. As you can see, I will do that with a knife because I was too impatient to grab my official smoosher, but it does the trick. Alright, now that we've got those greens broken down a little bit, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients here. Shuffling things around. I've got about a teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt going in there, as well as about a teaspoon of black pepper. That's our little vegetable skin bowl that we're going to use for our compost later. So I'm reserving everything for that. And for our worms, if you're interested in worm videos, I've also got those. They're doing so well. I'm so stoked. Helping my garden a ton. Then I've also got some roasted red pepper flakes. Got about a teaspoon of that. This is totally an optional ingredient, but I love the little kick it gives with the peppery of the the radish sprouts, and also the pepper. It's really nice. And then for some added nutrients and for some texture, actually, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of hemp seeds. And I've got 2 large avocados here. I am going to use almost all of them. I'm just going to reserve about a third of an avocado for garnish. or just scoop it right in there. Try to get them as ripe as you can. They blend a little better, obviously. I think this is me reserving a section. Yeah, I'm just going to take that other 2/3 and get it on in there. Avocado garnish, always a good thing. Also adds texture since this soup is so creamy. We've got a few things we're going to add to give it some yummy crunch. Then the last thing we're going to add before we blend it is about a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. Then we will blend until it's nice and smooth and creamy. Alright, we've blended and we have got ourselves a lovely, creamy, chilled cucumber spicy soup. Just pouring it in the bowl there, and I'm going to garnish it. I believe I'm taste testing at that moment. But I'm going to garnish it with some cubed avocado and some green onion, and also a couple radish sprouts and a little pinch of Himalayan sea salt. I'm also eventually going to add about a teaspoon of hemp seeds for a little bit of crunch and a drizzle of olive oil. And if you are somebody that is weirded out by cold soup, I believe this may convert you. You should try it. It's so good for you. It's so refreshing, and it's incredibly filling, surprisingly enough. This recipe, I say, gives 2 hefty servings for like a lunch or dinner, or if you wanted to do it as an appetizer, you could easily get 4 to 5 servings out of this batch as well. Just kind of depends on where you're going with it. Adding the little radish sprouts in there. Gotta make it IG worthy, you know? But really, this is dynamite. You should give it a try. It's one of the easiest recipes ever, and your friends will think you've got some serious culinary skills if you make it for them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy it as much as I do. I'm already about 3/4 of the way through with my bowl. And it's so good going down. It's nice and creamy, nice and refreshing. The coldness is so great. We've been having 90-degree days that just aren't going to stop anytime soon. So it's a perfect alternative to a hot lunch or hot dinner. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you're having a wonderful summer. I will see you on Friday for Untamed Treat Friday. Cheers.